What I was looking for was someone who was immensely likable and immensely relatable, and without having someone special, it wouldn't fly.
Enter Hilary Duff, reluctantly. The 12-year-old was still smarting from getting fired off the sitcom Daddy-O.
I went home for a little while, and my manager called and was like, Disney really wants you to go on an audition. They knew who I was because I auditioned for them so many times. And I was like, no, I'm done. I want a big break. I don't want to do that anymore.
We're like, a Disney show? No way. You know, they just, took her off of another show. She's not going to get it. We were kind of in like a negative state of mind that day.
I just kept reading and reading and reading actors, trying to find someone that could embody the part. Probably considered, I would say, 400 or 500 people.
My manager kept calling, please, one more time, come out here and visit, And I was like, if I go out there and go on the audition and don't even really care about the audition, I get to see all my friends. So I came and I saw all my friends, and I went in and I did a terrible job because I hadn't read my lines.
I was very honest about it and said, you need to get more into the character, and I was trying to give her some direction because I knew there was so much there.
She was kind of like, no one's told me I ever did like a bad job in an audition,
And then I started to feel the challenge all over again. That feeling that I love to feel. I think it just really inspired me to go in and knock them dead the next time.
And she did. And she was better. And even cuter.
She was natural, and there was enough there that you just knew that there was a gigantic spark.
There was some stiff competition.
There was a great pool of talent that included Lindsay Lohan, Sarah Paxton, Holly Hirsch, all of whom were terrific, and we were very excited about presenting to the network.
But Hilary's mom wanted to spare her daughter any further heartbreak.
Her mother found out that my producer wanted another actress and pulled her out and said, I'm not going to test her because I don't want to put my daughter through this. Said, look, this other girl's not going to get it. Hilary's going to get this part. Please put her back in the mix. I'm telling you, she's going to get this part. I just felt it. So the mother said, okay, and they put her back in.
Hilary still had to jump through hoops, almost literally.
5 auditions. And each time, more and more people are in the room, so it gets more and more intimidating. And they would ask you to do crazy things. They would be like, what can you do? What are your special talents? And anything funny. And I was like walking around the room on my hands, like upside down, and they all laughed.
Hilary was just so cute and so likable and so real that even though the other actors may have had more training and more work and stuff, we all just sort of kept on gravitating and saying, it's really kind of her.
There was something about her. She was somewhere between a young Shirley Temple and a young Marilyn Monroe.
She lit up the screen.
They loved her, and then about a few days later, they told us that Hilary was a choice.
I remember getting the phone call and just all 4 of us like screaming at the top of our lungs, so excited, because right off the top we knew that show was going to be a good show for her.
But the pilot didn't live up to expectations. Lizzie McGuire fell flat on screen.
I hated it. I thought it was really, really boring. I remember early on the Disney Channel being absolutely convinced that Hilary couldn't act. And insisting that we bring in an acting coach for her.
So they brought in Troy Rowland to really work with all the kids on the show as a way just to kind of run lines with them, make sure they understood sort of the beats of the scene, and to kind of help them focus.
After the experience of Daddy-O, we thought, oh my gosh, they're bringing this guy in because they don't like her. We thought, oh my God, she's going to get replaced again.
The veteran acting guru sized up the situation, paying special attention to Hilary.
I walked on set and I saw this little teeny young lady just with a high voice talking really fast, and I said, wow, this is a pretty interesting young lady.
We saw him come in and we're like, I just don't know how this is going to work.
Troy is a pretty big, intimidating-looking guy, and, Hilary and the rest of the cast are these 12-year-old kids, pretty much.
So we gave Troy a pretty hard time the first, week or two he was there. And then Troy finally sat her down and was like, I'm not here because you're going somewhere. You're here for good. I'm here to help everyone.
With the ice broken, the star got down to business. Her salary, a very grown-up $15,000 per episode. Duff earned every penny.
It was definitely a lot of work. If you think about it, I was in the A story and the B story because the TV show was all about me. Legally, I could work a 9.5-hour day, and that included 3 hours of school.
I think a lot of people try to make it like she, was this overnight thing, but she worked really hard to be where she is.
Coming up, Duff Mania.
We literally were not in control of our environment. People were falling over, almost getting hit.
By 2001, Lizzie McGuire was the Disney Channel's #1 show, and Hilary Duff its hottest star. Producers made the most of their leading lady.
She was very athletic, and that began to give us the idea that we could integrate physical comedy into the show.
And we did one episode where we needed to do a dance sequence. And she's like, well, I can do handsprings. I'm like, what?
And we were like, oh, let's get a stunt woman to do. No, I can do it.
She's wearing these big high-heeled boots.
She did this whole series of, Blues Brothers handsprings, like right down the hallway.
Lizzie would take a locker door in the face almost every episode, or trip and fall every episode, and she always did her own stunts. Without pads or without anything, and it became part of the signature of what Lizzie McGuire was.
She's just trying to find herself, and she's a big klutz. And I think that's why so many people related with her, because, she was just totally normal. But a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
Still, studio execs didn't want too much reality. Case in point, an episode titled Between a Rock and a Bra Place.
I want a bra, okay? A bra!
We wanted to do an episode where Lizzie decided she wanted her first bra. They said, oh my God, you can't do that, because it was a little bit groundbreaking at the time for Disney.
This is very much a girl issue. And we've tried to be very even in our programming and relating to boys as well as girls. And I think the decision was the right decision, which obviously was to do the story because this is part of life.
I want a bra! Ew, that's disgusting!
The embarrassment of having to go bra shopping with your mother is funny, very real.
We are shopping for their first bras. This is so cool!
Hilary could totally relate.
Where she was going through the same thing about the bra. Where she was developing and she had to, she wanted to go buy a bra.
Miranda, I think I need my mom.
When I was filming Lizzie McGuire, so much of that character was just me. Like, I was totally at that awkward stage where you don't know who you are, you feel really uncomfortable all the time, and you're really, I guess, trying to, find yourself. All the things I was going through, they would write in the script.
The series targeted an untapped audience, 9 to 14-year-olds. Hilary Duff quickly became known as the tween queen.
They totally saw themselves in that character. They didn't aspire to want to be her. They thought they were her.
People just started recognizing her. The minute the show came out, it was like, that was it.
I realized how huge the show was one day when Hilary called me. She couldn't get through them all. Everybody, the press, the crowd was just, Lizzie McGuire, Lizzie, 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 Lizzie. We were in Florida, and about 3,000 people came to a signing for Hilary to do. And we literally were not in control of our environment. We had our security guys all around, so we were lifted up off of our feet and thrown in like a van and just barreled through the crowd. People were falling over, almost getting hit. And at that moment, I knew that it was crazy, that Lizzie was just out there, and Hilary with it.
Lizzie McGuire also attracted several heartthrob guests, including Steven Tyler, Frankie Muniz, and pop star Aaron Carter.
Back up and tell me who this Aaron Carter is.
Okay, he's a singer, a dancer, and he's only 13.
I remember sitting up in hair and makeup with the two of them and watching them laugh and giggle, and he was keeping her company when she was getting her hair done, and started sitting in his chair and like swinging back and forth. And yeah, there was a little chemistry there.
But I could tell it was something going on. But he was very nervous. People think, oh, guys are so cool. But here he is on the most popular show, Lizzie McGuire, having to kiss her in front of 50 people.
It's a little embarrassing between them because it wasn't the most private of places.